What's up YouTube? It's Mikesui, aka SuiFilet. I haven't posted for a couple months and I've really missed making content for this channel, but I had to step away to take care of IRL and really figure out how to restart my life. Long story short, I used to be an entertainer, but the pandemic really turned my life upside down. Before I started this channel, my life was really at a low point, but making videos for this channel really sparked my creativity and inspired me. So, over the past couple months, I've been editing a few videos to restart my own personal YouTube channel that tells the story of how my life has changed since the pandemic. And I'm going to go directly into my video after this introduction so you guys here at SuiFilet channel can get to know me a bit better. I hope you like it, and nice to meet you. 认识你很高兴. That's Chinese and Japanese. よろしくお願いします. Try typing in something related to quitting social media and tons of videos will pop up. I've watched dozens of people's stories, and the common storyline goes something like, social media was eating up my time, destroying my self-esteem, and keeping me away from building genuine, real-life connections with others. After 1 month, or 1 year, or 5 years of being away from social media, my life is so much more meaningful and inspiring. Good for them, but I promise you, my story isn't like that. What's up people who know me? It's been 2.5 years and I hope you're doing well. And hello to those who don't know me, my name is Mike隋and social media is where I made my living. Not on Facebook, not on YouTube, not on Instagram, not on OnlyFans, even though I should maybe give that a shot. 10 years ago, I lived in Beijing, China, where I was a piss-broke struggling actor. Acting gigs weren't paying the bills, so I had many side hustles ranging from teaching English to emceeing events to playing real money poker. And that's when social media started to grow in China, so I decided to express my creativity through making videos. I loved Lonely Island, so I started off making funny rap videos. Later, I tried writing comedy skits and found myself pretty good at it. My breakout moment was when I wrote this skit where I was playing 12 different characters in one scene speaking different languages and Chinese dialects, and basically wowed all of Chinese internet. People were like, why does he know our culture so well? It's because I'm half Chinese and I went to school as a kid in China. Anyways, I remember clearly the afternoon when I posted my video on Weibo, which is China's version of Twitter. After 1 hour, I had already gotten 30,000 reposts when my dad called me and asked me if I wanted to have dinner together. But I was completely freaking out. He was like, "Hey son, what are you doing? Do you want to go out to dinner together?" And I was like, "Holy shit dad, you won't believe it. It's been 1 hour, I got 30,000 reposts, dude." My dad back then didn't know anything about social media, clicks, or views. All he heard was 1 hour and 30,000, so he thought I was up to some shady shit and was like, "Little fucker, are you saying you're gambling?" And I was like, "No, Dad, dude, you won't get it. I'll explain later." So I hung up the phone and proceeded to watch my video go completely viral. By the next morning, I went from 2,000 followers on Weibo to 250,000 followers, and my video already got millions of views. That one video catapulted my career from the gutter to a place where I was a bona fide internet celebrity on the outside looking into the entertainment industry. I didn't have trouble paying rent anymore, I could buy the new iPhone, and I could take my parents out to restaurants regularly. It's the one and only Digo Double G. Audition opportunities started to come in for movies and TV shows, along with sponsorships that would post ads on my social media for money. Over the course of 8 years, I made more comedy videos that really solidified my status as an internet comedian. I slowly made my way from doing cameos in TV shows to actually playing big roles in sci-fi blockbusters. All along the way, my social media following kept growing and growing, and was a pretty good representation of how well my career was going. Entertainment careers are super volatile. One day you're sought out, the next day you might be old news. But one thing that I kept constant was my social media engagement, where I documented the ups and downs of life and portrayed this up-and-coming actor who had a positive and uplifting mindset. And 2019 felt like my best year yet. Even though I wasn't the viral internet sensation anymore, I was slowly being recognized as a well-known face in showbiz who was a decent actor and a funny entertainer. I was working on my physique as well as my mental state, and I was ready to show the world, maybe even Hollywood, the best version of myself. Until COVID said, "Sit your ass down." I wasn't in China when COVID happened. I was visiting my girlfriend who went to school at Syracuse. I thought COVID was going to be like the SARS outbreak in 2003, where it was more of an epidemic and China would contain the virus. I did what any useless social media star would do and posted videos of encouragement to people back in China, and sometimes tried to crack a joke or two to lighten people's spirits. After the virus started to spread around the world, I faced the decision of either returning to China before they closed the borders or hunkering down with my girlfriend in Syracuse while she stayed in school. On one hand, there was China where my career was. If I returned, I would probably join forces with hundreds of celebrities with one mission: to entertain the country under lockdown and give people hope. But who knows when showbiz would start again? Who knows when movies would be made again? But all these questions seemed so futile when the world was seemingly panicking. There was a point in 2020 where I felt useless as a person because all I was an entertainer. Even though some people say entertainers and especially comedians are the most important people during hard times because we can lighten people's spirit and give people hope, I just couldn't find the hope within to try to entertain others. What I saw and what I predicted was a world that would become more divided than ever,
as opposed to calling it the Chinese virus.
A world where innate disdain and discrimination would grow towards China and its people and Asian culture as a whole.
I was on my way home and this kid shouted coronavirus at me.
Deep inside, I was upset about the stories I heard and continue hearing about China and its fight against COVID-19. I don't see myself becoming a brainless puppet entertainer who will just entertain the masses. I want to express my fear and doubt and worry about what's going on in China and the entire world. Except there's one catch. You're not really allowed to do that in China unless you don't mind being canceled. Being stuck in a limbo, not able to express my thoughts and emotions, I chose to step away from social media. And it's been 2.5 years since. In China, people left me messages wondering if I died from COVID-19, and in the US, I simply stopped posting on Instagram and YouTube. My thought was, if I couldn't be 100% honest and speak what was going on in my mind, I'd rather not share any of my thoughts at all. In the back of my head, I was hoping maybe COVID would go away. Maybe the world would reopen again. Maybe all this pointing fingers would stop once life is good again. But all these wishful deadlines kept getting pushed back time and time again. I thought to myself, if Tokyo could hold a successful Olympic Games, maybe the world would see that and go back to normal. To be fair, everywhere kind of went back to normal except the place that I made a living from. Maybe after the Beijing Winter Olympics, with no outbreaks and a successful showing to the world, China will ease its COVID restrictions and slowly reopen to the world. But no, even in 2022, cities of 10 million people are being locked down for a week or even up to a month. Life is nowhere near the same, and I find it kind of ridiculous. As a comedian at heart, I kind of want to say something and question whether all this is necessary. But I lasted 2.5 years, so why risk being canceled now? What's funny is that me pondering this on YouTube alone will probably squash all remaining possibility of me resuming a career in China. Sag. But I'm ready to tell my story now, to let people know why I've stepped away from social media for all this time. I didn't just step away from a social media platform, but have been contemplating whether or not I would give up on the career that I worked for the past 10 years. I've waited too long for the place where my career was to go back to normal, to be able to return as an entertainer and make people laugh and give people motivation and hope. I don't know when that day will ever come, but there's one thing that's for sure. The people that I used to entertain, the people that I used to try to make laugh, they're not going to be the same. And I'm not the same anymore. So the past few months, I've been practicing my editing skills with a gaming content YouTube channel of mine. And right now I feel ready to put together this video and explain why I've stepped away from the places you knew me from. I doubt there's much of a career left for me in China, so I'm trying to figure out what's next for myself. But if you've made it this far into this video, then I think I have what it takes to tell my story on YouTube. Please take a second to fill out this survey. 10 years ago, I was a struggling actor back in China who suddenly struck gold and became famous overnight. That gave me more opportunities and I turned that into a steady entertainment career. I'm 37 years old now, living not far from LA. I honestly don't know if I have what it takes to grind it out from the bottom of showbiz again.
I'll give you a tip for future auditions. Don't.
But if history's a lesson, then maybe I'll start making some online videos and who knows, maybe I'll get 30,000 reposts in an hour again. Thanks for watching the video, like and subscribe if you want, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.